Hello everybody, this is Crochet and I am here today to show you the Tunisian stitch. I hope that I am saying that correctly. This stitch it's a great stitch to use for Afghans, for bigger projects. I'm using an eye hook. It really doesn't matter, but for this tutorial I'm going to be using an eye Tunisian. You can see how much longer this hook is over your typical crochet hook, which would be about half that size. But the reason that your Tunisian hook looks the way it does is because this allows you to carry several stitches on the hook, giving you a stitch that is comparable to knitting, the look of your different knits. But this is actually a pretty simple stitch. I'm just going to go over the basics, the first couple of rows. And what we will do is we'll start by making our slip knot, and then we will chain, let's just chain 10, just so that I can go over it with you on this. We're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. I don't use the Tunisian stitch a lot, but there are some projects that I will use it in. It just really fills in the gaps. Some of the projects I like to use it in where I don't want to see a whole lot of space between my stitches, or or using it for just a different look. But basically what we are going to do is you're going to go in, you can work it either into 2 strands, and it's kind of hard to see what I'm talking about here. Let me see if I can focus in a little better. I'm going to start into my second chain from the hook, and we have this kind of crossover right there along with our stitch. You can go into both of those, which is just a little trickier, not too bad, but you'll have, as you see when you go through that stitch, you'll have the 2 strands on there, or you can just go right into that top part of the chain, which I'm just going to go ahead and do that for time's sake because it takes me a little longer and sometimes I get a little slowed down by that second strand. But you're going to go through that second chain from the hook, and you're going to pull up your yarn and leave the yarn on your hook, and then you're going to go into your next chain, grab that yarn, pull it through, and keep that on your hook. And you're going to do this all the way down and into your last chain. We just go in, grab, and hold it right onto that hook. So just do that all the way down. And into our last chain. And the back of your hook is going to look like this. You've got all of your strands of yarn on your hook. And now we're ready to complete our stitch. You're going to yarn over and come through your first stitch only. And what this does, you're going to do this at the beginning of every new row. This creates that chain 1, similar to what you would do if you're doing any of your crochet projects. You have that chain in the beginning because the stitches that we make are going to be comparable to a single crochet in height. So we'll use that as our chain 1 on every row. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 strands from here on out, down the line, down the rest of your row. Okay, and you're going to go all the way down until you have only 1 strand left on your hook. Right there. Excuse me, I am like getting a cold or something. Okay, so now we have completed our first row in our Tunisian stitch. You'll see on the opposite side, let me see if I can flip this over here. You got a bunch of spaces up here, little squares. Now with each new row, what it's going to do is it's going to push your stitches down, bringing them all together, making a very closed, nice, tight stitch. So for now it looks like it's, you know, a little gappy in there, but that all changes when you do your next row. Now the difference with this and your typical crochet stitch is instead of going into the top of our stitches, which we really don't have a stitch along the top anymore, we are going to go into these little pillars, the little bars coming down, to pull up our next row. So what we're going to do is go into that first bar, yarn over and pull through, and we're going to hold that strand of yarn on our hook, go into our next bar and pull through, and do that all the way down to your last bar. I call them bars. They're just like pillars or whatever you want to call them. They're the lines that are coming down from your stitches. Okay, so coming in, pulling through and holding it on our hook. Okay, and we're coming into our last couple here. Into our very last one, right there. Okay. So what we have now done by pulling these up through our bar is we've just closed off the gaps on that top part there, starting to push our stitches down. Okay, and then coming back through, I will do this one more time, but you're going to repeat exactly what we've done through all of this for the length of the project that you're making. Okay, so we're going to pull through like we did the first time, that first stitch only, to give us the chain 1. And then for the rest of the row, whoops, if we can make it, we're going to pull through, oh, forgive me, two stitches the rest of the way down. Now, when you don't have a camera in front of you, you can go a little quicker with this. It's not really as slow as I'm making it to be, but I'm also trying to show you what I'm doing here. So I hope that this has been helpful. I seem to be able to, or have been able to get up a little closer than I thought I would with this. So we just completed round 2 in our stitch. So now when you go in for round 3, you're going to be going into these upper bars. I'm not going to go through this entire row, but now you're going to come back through the upper bar section and go all the way down the line, pull through 1, and then pull through 2, all the way down until you have 1 strand on your hook. And like I said, this is really a nice stitch when you're done. I wish I had a finished product right here with me. I have, I made a Pokemon hat, and I made the ears with a Tunisian stitch just to give it a little more closed and cozy stitch to it. But that is how you do it. And if you have any questions, I hope this helped you out and that was understandable enough here. But if you have any further questions or comments, please feel free to do that below in the comment section of the video. I'd love for you to visit us. We have our webpage on Facebook. Our Facebook page is at facebook.com/yarnwars, where I have several other patterns listed. But we'd love to see you there. Please come join us and make sure you subscribe for future tutorial videos. Have a great day. Bye-bye.